Say that again. As you wish.
She's jumping up and down.
Stage re-entry.
Wow. How cool was that? You were adorable. Thank you. Wow, now my day is complete.
I know. That was the best fan interaction that started it. Really.
Can't beat that.
That is pretty awesome. So you may have just made a lifelong fan here, and so she might be one to tell about your new book.
Yes. Yes. Hi. I just want to say that if you like The Princess Bride, I'm assuming, just yell if you like The Princess Bride. Do many of you have an Amazon account in the room? Yeah. Okay. I wrote a book about the making of The Princess Bride. If you go to your Amazon account, you can pre-order with one click, and for that $18, and that's a deal, you save $10, you will get the entire story of how this movie was made. And I'm very blessed in that I got to co-write it with the whole cast. So Billy Crystal talks about his scenes, and Ron Wright, Manny Peck, and everything. And I had great fun writing it, and I think you guys will love it. If you're fans of the movie, you'll love this book. So please order it and tell your friends, okay?
So along those lines, Princess Bride recently had its 25th anniversary. What was it like being back with all of your castmates?
That was a very special reunion because even though we're all still in touch with each other, it's very rare to get us all in the same room at one time. And it was just weird, an amazing, wonderful thing to think that 25 years had gone by. I mean, where did it go? That was my first question to myself. Where the heck did that go? But we got to see a brand new print that they screened at the Lincoln Center in New York, and Bill Goldman, who wrote the book, was sitting behind me. And he hadn't seen it with an audience since it opened in Toronto in 1987. And all the fans in the audience they knew every line. You know, there's quite a few quotable lines, as you know, in the movie, right? And so he was sitting behind me, and every time, you know, they wanted to quote lines, you know, things like anyone want a peanut and things like that, he would sit there behind me and go, oh my gosh. Oh wow. And so after the movie, he was very moved because it's his favorite book, and it's his favorite movie, and it's his favorite screenplay. And after the movie I said, Bill, what do you think? He goes, I can't believe it. I mean, they just love the movie. I can't believe it, how much they love it. And I said, Bill, you wrote a classic. And, you know, that's how I feel about this film. I feel so blessed to be part of a film that started out as a little modest movie and now has become all of this, you know? So that's why I wrote this book. So it's a book from the heart, like the movie is a movie from the heart. And I think you'll all enjoy it. So, like I said, please go out and buy it. It would mean a lot to me. I think you'll enjoy it.
You've also been involved with a lot of period pieces,
yeah.
And you've also recently hit the horror circuit with
Yes.
Saw.
Yes. Thank you.
Fill us in a little bit. How did we go from the Dread Pirate Roberts and romantic leads to Saw?
Well, I wanted to broaden my fan base. It's very rare that I meet a Saw and Princess Bride fan, it's true, but they're out there. God bless you, thank you. You know, I met James Wan, the director, who's now directing Fast and Furious. He's a wonderful guy, very sweet guy. And he's such an artist. He's from Melbourne, and he studied at the Melbourne Film School. And when I met him, he had a portfolio of drawings under his arm. And he opened up the portfolio at lunch, and he started letting me see all these drawings. And they were all watercolors, and beautiful ink and watercolor paintings of the sets. There was a painting of the bathroom, and then there was a painting of the pig mask thing, which was kind of terrifying. And then I saw this blueprint of this trap. I think he called it the reverse bear trap, for you guys who know the movie. And it was exactly. And it was very graphic and very detailed, and it had, you know, screws and nuts and bolts and things like that. And I said, "My gosh, James, that looks so detailed." And he goes, "Yeah, it's operational." And he had spent so much time working on the detail of this film that he'd contacted an engineer and made this thing actually operational. And so I was so impressed by his obvious talent and his very warm charm and his passion for film. And so that's why I did it, yeah. We shot it in like 18 days, I think. Yeah.
For something that technical, that's quite fast.
Yeah, it was very fast. And then it became a huge runaway success, so I'm very blessed. Very blessed.
Cool. Well, I think...
Thank you.
Oh, yes. Don't let me step on love. That's fine. We're going to kick it out to the audience, and I think we'll just go back to Cutie over here and let her start.
Yes. Hi.
Hi.
It's been
It's finally on. Do you perhaps have 6 fingers on your right hand?
I'm the man in black, not the guy who killed in Montoya.
I know, but remember that part?
Yeah, sure. You know the part I remember the best? Is the moment when I just hugged you.
I thought so too.
Yours.
What's your favorite X-Men character?
You're smart.
Mine's
And
not.
obviously you've seen a lot of movies. Okay, my favorite X-Men character. Gosh, they're all so good. I mean, I'd have to say Wolverine, I know. He's really cool. And Hugh Jackman's a great guy. So
Mine right now is Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler, okay. Wow, you're quite advanced. How old are you?
9.
9. Very cool. Very cool.
Can I have another hug?
They are free.
No. You don't want to. Later, remind me. Or be that cute.
Or be that cute.
Grab each other. We're good.
Almost didn't make that.
Hi. So while The Princess Bride is actually my favorite movie, I really just enjoy watching you act.
Thank you.
Such as like all your other films. You know how they're actually thinking of making The Princess Bride the musical?
Yes.
Given the chance, would you actually be a part of it, even as like the old man or like the king?
You mean based on I just trying to jump up on the stage and nearly hang the deck? Yes, I'm a very old man. You're very sweet. I do believe the musical is happening. I had dinner with William Goldman a couple of nights ago, and it looks like the Broadway musical is finally happening. Yes. Yes. After a long time, it's finally coming to fruition. So yeah, I'm very excited about it. I don't know if I mean, I don't think I'm going to be a part of it, but I will certainly be there opening night. But thank you. Thank you for your very kind comment. Thank you. Hello, how are you?
Amazing. So you've done so many obviously diverse roles and so many different genres. Do you have any way of preparing for each of these roles that's kind of unique to you? Anything that's like a little quirk that helps you get in the mindset of each character?
I just research everything. I love research. You know, I started, this is how old I am actually, I started in the business before there was the internet. I know, I mean, you guys, it's crazy, isn't it? It's hard to believe there was a time before the internet, but there was. And so, you know, I used to go to the libraries a lot, wherever I was. So, for instance, when I was making Glory, I went to Boston, and I found Captain Shaw's letters in a museum library there, and I read them all, and that was, so the research is actually half the fun for me. And what I do usually is I just get as many books, or now, you know, going online and finding out as much information as I can, if it's a historical piece or a character that I'm interested in that has some details that I want to look up and study, and I just download it all into my brain, and then just bring that to work and apply it.
For Despero.
For Despero. Despero. Thank you. Well, there weren't that many art thieves available for me to talk to. But I did go online and look up, you know, how that whole business of art theft and how the FBI work and how these guys have gotten away with it and how some doesn't. I think there's even a Vermeer that's still missing from Boston or something like that. So there's a, you know, it's a lot of fun. The research is half the fun. To me, it's like it's a continued education for me. You know, I mean, this is how blessed my life is. I get to play race car drivers, so I get to learn how to race Daytona. You know, I play an astronaut, so I get taught by real astronauts how to work a lunar module. I mean, it's like a dream come true for me. My life is really incredibly blessed, you know.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Nervous.
Don't be.
Too late.
What's your name?
Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Okay. So my question is with the roles concerning like the Princess Bride and Men in Tights. What made you decide to pick those roles? Like, what made you decide to accept it?
What, both of those? Well, I had seen Spinal Tap. Yeah, exactly. And like most of you, I was blown away by how incredibly funny that movie is, even to this day. It's brilliant. So when I heard that Rob wanted to come and meet me, I was shooting a film in Berlin. This is all in the book, by the way, so you should definitely get the book because it's better written than what I'm trying to tell you right now. So when he came to Berlin to meet me and talk to me about the part, I was completely in awe of the man already. I'd already seen, I grew up with All in the Family, watching that show as a kid, and but I'd seen Spinal Tap, and I just thought, my gosh, the idea of this man who was working with one of my favorite screenwriters, Bill Goldman, getting together to make this film of this book that I'd read when I was 13, I just thought it was again, a dream come true, and I thought, there's no chance I'm going to get this role because Rob decided to ask me to read. You know, he flew all the way to Berlin, but then he asked me to read for it, and I'm terrible at reading for parts. And I thought, that's it. I started to read the scene. I think I read the scene where Wesley talks about how the Drip Pirate Roberts kidnapped him, and that whole bit, yeah. And he stopped me halfway through, and he goes, "Yeah, that's great. Okay, that's fine." And I go, "Oh," and my heart sank. I'm like, "Oh God, that's the part. Forget it." So he goes, "We're going to talk to your agent, and we'll see how it goes, and maybe if we can make a deal, and we'll let you know." I thought, whenever you hear a director say, "We'll let you know," it usually means you never hear from him again. And like a week later, I got the call from my agent that they wanted me to do the picture. So I was over the moon. I couldn't believe it. So it gave me the career I have and the incredible life that I lead today. Mel Brooks. I grew up with Mel Brooks. As you can tell, I'm a great fan of comedy. And so I'd seen all of Mel Brooks' movies. I mean, I'd seen everything. 12 Chairs. Yes, anyone seen 12 Chairs? You guys seen 12 Chairs? Dom DeLuise. I asked Mel for Dom DeLuise to be in the movie based on 12 Chairs. I love Dom DeLuise so much, God bless him. And so I made that one demand. I said, you gotta put Dom DeLuise in the movie. And, but I'd seen Blazing Saddles, I'd seen Frankenstein, yeah, absolutely. I mean, just classic comedies. So, he didn't make me read, thank goodness. But we had a lot of fun doing it, and you know, I helped cast Dave Chappelle, who obviously is amazing. He came in red, and we were just blown away by this guy. We just thought, this man's a huge talent, and my gosh, we were lucky to have him. Yeah, it was great fun. So again, yeah, I was very blessed. Yeah, thank you for your question.
Thank you for doing it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
First of all, I cannot believe I'm talking to you right now. Oh my God. Okay, just a moment. Shaking, oh my God, okay. So I love you in Princess Bride, first of all, of course. But you've done so many different roles. You've done, you know, the funny, but then you've also done some really dark roles as well. As an actor, what are you the most proud of doing? Like, is it things like Princess Bride that's a comedy, or are they some of the darker roles that you did more acting?
I'm very proud of most of my work, actually. You know, some don't always turn out the way you hope, but for the most part, like I said, I've had a very blessed career. I've got to work with some amazing directors. I've got to work with, you know, Francis Ford Coppola. I mean, this guy was like a hero to me growing up. I'd seen, obviously, The Godfather, Apocalypse Now, Conversation, Rain People, everything. I mean, I just was blown away by this man. So, I remember when I went to meet him on the Sony lot to talk about the part, I said to him, for you, Mr. Coppola, I work for a ham sandwich. And I was quoting Erich von Stroheim. And I thought he wouldn't get it. He went, oh, Erich von Stroheim. So we bonded very quickly over that. And he's, you know, I've had an incredible career, really. I mean, every role has been an education, like I mentioned earlier, you know. I mean, who'd have guessed this little kid from London, you know, would have this life, this blessed life that I have. I got to race Daytona. How crazy is that? I mean, come on. It's nuts. I had Dale Earnhardt teach me how to drive. I mean, you know, it's amazing. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. What's your name?
That's really good, okay. Oh, hi. I already know who you are, though. Can you say as you wish?
Again?
Yeah.
Sure. As you wish.
Okay. So my real question is, how was it like working with Andre the Giant?
The great Andre. Well, I talk about him a lot in the book. So again, I'm going to plug the book. Andre really was a gentle giant. You know, I mean, he was 7'4", 450 pounds, and he was like the eighth wonder of the world. You know, whenever he walked into a room, he had to bow his head low to get in through the door frame. And so, you know, he had a pretty rough life, really, even though he was a very successful wrestler and big star in the wrestling circuit. You know, it was very hard for him because he couldn't sit down at a normal table, and no chairs really fit him. You know, he had to get 2 chairs put together. Beds were often uncomfortable. Toilets were obviously an issue. You know, but he was just the sweetest guy, and he. I'll never forget, he was a real foodie. You know, he grew up in France. He grew up in a little village in France. And he told me this great story about how he couldn't fit on the school bus because when he was about 12 years old, he was already 6'3" or something like that. And so it was a problem for him because he couldn't walk to school and he couldn't fit on the bus. And he said, Oh yeah, boss. He called everybody boss. I love that about him too. The idea of a 7'5" giant calling you boss. He said, yeah, boss. So this guy come one day. He made friend with my father, and he drove me to school. I said, somebody drove you to school every day? He goes, yeah, boss. He's the only guy who had a convertible in the village. And I said, really? Who was that? He goes, oh, it's just some guy, a writer, his name Samuel Beckett. I was a playwright, Samuel Beckett. He drove me to school every day. So Google him if you don't know who he is. He's an incredible playwright. And but Andre, he was the sweetest. He didn't care for the British food. By the way, Britain is not known for its culinary genius. And he took one look at the catering on our set, and he went, no, boss, no. And on his day off, he drove his truck, a specially modified, truck that he had, and he went over to France on the ferry, and he came back, and he filled the truck with crates of pâté and foie gras and cheese and lots of wine, which the producers confiscated because I know. Well, he drank most of it, I think. But he was already the crew loved him already. But after that, he could do no wrong. The crew went around going, more pâté. So yeah, he was just a sweetheart, and I miss him to this day. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to start by thanking you. It's partially your fault why I'm a total sword geek and involved in the Western martial arts community.
Oh, right on.
I wanted to ask you, your fight with Mandy is largely considered to be one of the greatest sword fights in cinema history by the Western martial arts community. I wanted to ask you about your training for that. How was all that?
Yes. Okay, so that's an interesting story, also in the book. Just so I kind of snuck that in there. Supple, that's right, thank you. I broke my toe making the film. Yeah, Andre couldn't walk around too much because he had a really bad back, and because in wrestling, I think they took it very seriously when people would just bash the back of his head with real metal chairs and for real, and so the poor guy was in a lot of pain. And we shot a lot of sequences up in the hills in Derbyshire, right? And so he couldn't walk up a hill like that, and so he wouldn't make it on time for the scene, So they got him an ATV, an all-terrain vehicle. I don't know how they found one in England. They weren't popular back then. But they found one, and he loved it. He was like, oh, boss, I have one of these at home. These are great, boss, great. He was moving around. He was having fun. He was going up and down hills. And, see a 450-pound guy going up and down the hills. You take notice of that. He comes zooming by me. Boss, hey, check it out. And one day he pulled up to me and goes, boss. I go, what? You want to try it, don't you? I go, what? He goes, you want to, boss. I go, Andre, I can't. I don't know how to ride one. It's easy, boss. It's like a motorbike. Come on, you want to. So the first day, I politely declined, Andre, that's fine. Okay, boss. And took off again. Zoom. Right? Next day, same thing. Pulled up. Hey, boss. Hi, Andre. You know you won. So like a twit, I went, oh, all right, fine. Yeah, come on, Bob, come on. He gets off this thing, and immediately it suddenly comes up in the air. I sit on it, and his handler says to me, he's a British guy, he goes, oh, it's very easy, it's a flat sheet of right, it's just like my bike, Bob's your uncle. So I get on this thing, switch it on, I start to go up the hill, and the crew are watching me bemused, they're like, what's he doing? And I tried to switch gears, and I went over a rock. At the very moment that I switched gears, and my toe got caught between the rock and the clutch, and it bent backwards, and it was a quick break, and I just felt it break, it went like that, and I just felt it, I Great. We're 2 weeks into filming and I broke my toe. And we haven't even got to the sword fighting scene yet. And I'm nervous as heck because I'm thinking, that's it, they're going to fire me for sure, right? I mean, here I am. It's like if you get an accident on a film set, if you get an accident while you're shooting, it's like workers' comp, like anywhere else when you work, right? And the insurance covers it, and they take a break from shooting, and they take a break from work, and the insurance covers it, and so on, right? But if you break it doing something stupid, like riding around on Andre the Giant's all-terrain vehicle, then you're just a dumbass. And nobody really cares about insurance at all, or anything like that. You're just a dumbass. And so I was terrified, and I kept saying, the set nurse came over to the set medic, she takes off my boot, and she goes, "Yes, my bite is clean break. Broke it." I go, "Why? You gotta fix it." I mean, I gotta go back to work. She goes, "Well, I can't really fix it. You can't put a cast on it or nothing." I go, "What can you do? What can you do? I gotta go back to work. What can we do?" She goes, I could probably make up a little splint." Do it. So she pulls out, I don't know, some tongue depressor or something, and she quickly makes a splint for me. And I'm telling everyone, don't tell Rob, it's all right, it's cool, don't worry, I'm fine. I get to my feet and I can barely walk. I'm like, oh my gosh. It was so painful. So I get in the van, we ride up to the hill where I'm shooting a scene with Robin. I think it's a scene where I'm running down into the fire swamp, and I say to her, "Your big fiancé is too late, we've already made it," right? And if you look at the scene, you can see me hopping. I'm just hopping. And Rob comes up to me, he goes, "How you doing?" I go, fine. Why, how are you? He goes, "I'm fine. You sure you're okay?" I'm like, "Piece of cake. Perfect." He goes, "When were you going to tell me?" And I went, "Oh, man, I am so sorry, Rob. I feel like such a twit." He goes, "Don't worry about it, man. We'll be fine. Can you walk?" I go, "Well, yeah, I can walk." He goes, "Can you run?" I go, "Yeah." I lied to him. I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "What about the sword fight?" I go, "We'll be fine." And God bless him, I went straight to the doctor, to the hospital after we shot. And I was still in my Man in Black outfit because they wanted to rush me right there. And I remember the doctor looked at me and went, "You're pretty clumsy for Zorro, aren't you?" So the whole sword fight sequence, I wasn't just not left-handed, I was not operating with a fully functioning left hand. So we were kind of proud of it. So given that I was a little bit handicapped, thank you for mentioning how much you liked that. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.